That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, they redeem the situation. And a lot of water last night. If you have something going on under your home, today would be the day to figure it out. So why not call the Redeemers Group today, 901-310-1891. Get them out. They'll do a free estimate. They'll look at your situation, examine it, tell you what needs to be done. You don't have to do it, but they'll tell you what needs to be done and give you the option. They're very good. They've been in business locally for a number of years. Call them today, 901-310-1891. That is Sam Kinison. Professor Ira, can you pull that one out of your bag?
Oh, man.
I don't know. He really seems to care about what. I have no idea.
You ready for this?
Turgeson? Sorry, it just came to me.
Yes, Professor Turgeson.
What war was he in?
Vietnam.
Yeah, he was in Nam.
I wasn't sitting around wearing headbands, listening to the Beatles albums. I don't know what the headbands have to do with anything, but I guess that was a hippie.
I guess.
Hippie thing, whatever.
Hippie dippy doo.
Hey, whatever. So anyway, Jay, quickly,
yes,
a couple little points going on with the NBA free agency right around the corner. I love a good Chris Paul story.
Yeah.
First of all, Kawhi Leonard says that he is not going to take his player option, but he's seriously considering re-signing with the Raptors. I doubt it, but whatever. I guess it just keeps the people of Toronto happy for now.
Yeah.
But Chris Paul denies demanding trade. I'll be in Houston, and I'm happy about that. That guy, this is why I've never cared for him. He's like, he feels just so weaselly to me.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's never won anything. And I don't deny he's a great player. I don't, there are a lot of guys that are great players, and you hear their teammates come out, best teammate ever. He's great. He's a superstar. He's a great teammate. And Chris Paul, you don't really hear things about him. I don't know.
Somebody made a good point. This is not the year for them to blow that up in Houston because with Golden State injured and kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
This is the year you have to maybe make your move. It's going to be exciting. Free agency starts on the 30th. That's a week from yesterday. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff this week.
At midnight.
Yeah, it starts at midnight, but I think you'll hear
rumors of contracts this week. I'm sure.
Yeah, stuff's going to get finalized, that'll get done the first day, if I recall correctly.
Chris Paul owed $124 million over the next 3 seasons.
Million. That's a lot of dough, Ira.
That's a lot of cheddar. And the problem for Houston is even if they wanted to trade him, who could they really send him to?
Yeah. All right, I wanted to show this. Guest and contributor to the show, our movie expert, Chris T.
Oh, CT? Okay.
Yeah, CT posted this on his Facebook over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
He said this is the list of the, he says it's top 100, but it only goes down to about 40-something, but that's far enough. The top 50. Grossing movies from 1984.
Oh, I did see his post, but I didn't actually look at the list.
He says, find me a better year for movies than 84. I bet you can't. Let me just kind of tick through this.
It's hard to 84. I would say if you go 84 to 85, put those years together, and you really have got 2 years of unbelievable.
Well, and my comment was, because you look at this, and have you ever heard the term Pax Americana?
Yeah, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I never did either, and somewhere I came across it, and I really loved it, because if this show is anything, it's about kind of Pax Americana. It's that time period in the second half of the, not to get too educational here, but you're talking about the second half of the 20th century, right?
Yeah.
But particularly, halfway through that time with us, the 80s and 90s, when it's relative peace, the Cold War was winding down. You grew up in a time. Look, I get that everybody's lives, and my comment on his Facebook was Pax Americana, what a time to be alive. And he said, yeah, in our little waspy bubble, or his little waspy bubble. Which is true. There's no doubt that there were probably immense levels of human suffering, both in this country and throughout the world, in that period of time. I'm sure, like there always has been with
the Hutus and the Tutsis.
Right, what a great time to be alive if you were a Hutu. And what's the actor's name?
Illinois Nazis. I hate Illinois Nazis.
Yeah, if you were, under Don Cheadle's rule in the...
Oh, Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Anyway, my point is...
Don Cheadle's rule. I think he owned a hotel that he was helping refugees.
I never saw the movie.
I never did either. I heard it was great, though. He was great in Boogie Nights.
The point, yeah, he was.
The Black Cowboy.
Selling stereos. The point is this, and I get tired of, just for a lot of people, that was a very simple, innocent time to be alive. And, if that's white privilege, then I'm just going to apologize for my privilege. It probably is, but, it was a much simpler time, geopolitically and everything else.
With the 80s and 90s?
Yes.
I don't take umbrage with you saying white. You take umbrage with is your cultural appropriation of the backward hat.
Thank you.
I'm kidding.
No, I issue deep apologies. So, all those caveats aside, which are kind of a bummer, but whatever.
Yeah, anyway.
Here are the top 10 movies of 1984. Can you name number one? Very shocked by this.
I'm going to say 84 Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop is one of the top grossing...
I just forgot how popular Eddie Murphy was.
It was one of the top grossing movies of if you see lists of a lot of times they'll do lists for movies adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
Like what that would have meant from 84, what that would have meant today's. Beverly Hills Cop always seems to pop up on those lists. That's why I went with that.
Yeah. Anyway, what a top 10. Beverly Hills Cop, I'm just going to tick through it. Unbelievable top 10. Beverly Hills Cop, Ghostbusters.
Unbelievable!
Do that after each one of these.
Wait a minute. You said Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll see you later, huh? I'll give you a call.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom?
Yeah. 3.
Okay.
Gremlins.
All right, good.
Never Feed 'Em After Midnight.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever get them wet. Never get them wet, Ira.
No.
Are you a Gremlins guy?
Yeah, Gremlins is straight. It's a good movie. Phoebe Cates.
The Karate Kid.
Karate Kid, please.
Yes, thank you. Police Academy, the original.
Show favorite.
I mean, people think that's like a cult. Sixth grossing film, grossed $81 million.
It was huge, man. It was a good movie.
Footloose.
Footloose is very popular, but I really think the soundtrack makes it so much more popular than it really was.
Sure. Romancing the Stone, 8.
Oh my God, what a friggin' movie!
$76 million.
I just had a close encounter with a cattle prod.
Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock.
I thought that was the Wrath of Khan. Okay.
Genghis Khan.
No, Khan.
Splash.
Splash, great movie. Tommy Hanks, mermaids.
Purple Rain was 11.
Purple Rain was huge.
All right, I'm going to skip a few, but let me just tell you what's also on the list.
Wait.
You don't want me to skip
I want to know what you're skipping.
Okay, Amadeus, Tightrope.
Amadeus was, first of all, Amadeus was like the picture of the year that year.
Was it really?
Yeah, won the Oscar.
That's
and
great.
you know who one of the stars of that movie was?
Who?
All right, the actor.
Was that the song "Rock Me Amadeus"?
Amadeus. That song was not in the movie, but yes, it came. They did that song for the movie. I guess like for the credits or whatever.
How was it not
by
in the
Falco?
Movie? Okay.
How about this? The guy that plays
Edie Falco?
No, the German band
Okay.
Falco. The guy that plays Amadeus in the movie is Pinto from Animal House. Larry Kroger.
That's terrific.
I know.
Tightrope.
All right.
The Natural.
Some people's all-time favorite baseball movie.
Yeah.
Not mine, but...
Yeah,
okay.
not mine either. Graystroke, The Legend of Tarzan.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Great movie.
16th grossing film of that year. I saw that in the theaters.
Really? That's impressive.
I know. 8 years old.
Yeah.
Nice parenting.
Yeah, very nice.
Shout out to Mom on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, 2010. Don't know what that was. 2010. Must have been a future movie.
2010 was the sequel to 1969's 2001 Space Odyssey.
Okay. Breakin'.
Breakin'.
Not Breakin' 2, Ira. Breakin'.
When you say Breakin' 2, you better make sure you say Electric Boogaloo.
I know.
Breakin' is a great movie featuring... Come on.
Oh, the breakdancers.
Shooter McGavin.
Oh, really?
Shooter McGavin plays the girl's agent.
Okay, the next three, so we're down to 19, 20, 21.
Right.
You're not going to believe the next three.
Okay.
Bachelor Party, Red Dawn, and The Terminator.
Right.
I mean,
like if anyone,
has there ever been a better time to be alive?
Like if any of those three movies were on any time, like even right now on TV, you would stop and watch.
I'd call out of work.
Yeah,
I'm not making it in today.
Red Dawn is.
Hey, baby, put mommy on the phone. Hey, I ain't never coming home again.
That's from Harlem.
See you
Nights.
later. I know.
Yeah. Hey, darling, I ain't never coming home again. Take it easy.
Then he takes a deep breath like he's done something good.
Richie.
Hey, it's Richie.
Hey, baby, put mommy on the phone.
I ain't never coming home again. Okay, Red Dawn, Terminator. Okay, then you got...
I had Lady Heroin in the car with me.
Right. City Heat.
City Heat, that's with Burt Reynolds, I believe, and Kathleen Turner, I think.
There's a lot of fluff in here. And then you go down to 29, The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Good movie.
Go down to 32, Cannonball Run 2.
Cannonball Run 2, not as good as Cannonball Run 1, but pretty good.
Ira, here's a movie that I'm hoping you've seen because
Charles Nelson Riley.
I saw it, and it was popular in my household. See, as the youngest of four, with, you see movies that, like, you shouldn't see, and
Right.
you don't really get, but you see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Teachers.
With Joe Beth Williams.
Yeah.
And I might get my teacher movies confused.
Did she walk through the school naked at some point?
I don't know. Tom Berenger?
Maybe.
Is he in that? I
just remember it was a very intense movie that I didn't get any of what was going on.
I never really saw that movie.
Mm-hmm. Go down to 40 and 41, Nightmare on Elm Street, Woman in Red.
Woman in Red.
Here's a movie that
You know that Stevie Wonder got a Grammy for his Woman in Red.
Here's a movie that you probably wrote about in your book.
I love how you just...
Yeah, no, that's great. No, Stevie Wonder.
No, go ahead.
I Just Called to Say I Love You. Was that the one?
I believe so, yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah, very good.
I mean, what a year. Moscow on the Hudson, Ira?
Oh, featuring Yakov Smirnoff? Oh, Nick Nolte and Joe Beth Williams and Judd Hirsch.
Yeah, Judd Hirsch.
I love Hirsch.
Underrated 80s actor.
He's great, man. What about 70s actor? Taxi?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're running
Joe
out
Beth
here.
Williams. Okay. Ralph Macchio.
There you go. Find out if she was naked in that movie. The people need to know.
I'll effort that.
The people are demanding answers.
Wait a minute. How about this? You just skipped something huge about the movie Teachers.
Yes.
I got a slow.
I told you I didn't remember anything.
I got a slow load here. Also, oh my gosh, listen to this. Also in the movie Teachers, an actor named Art Matrano.
Yeah. Tell me what he was in.
Captain Mauser, Lieutenant Mauser.
See?
From Police Academy 2 and 3.
See?
What up, Mauser?
What's Art Matrano up to these days?
He's probably not doing too much. He's
probably coasting off the...
Well, he was born in 36.
The royalties.
He's a little old, but...
Yeah.
He's got the great little Italian fro going.
Yeah. Down at, all the way down at 44, 16 Candles.
I mean, classic.
48, Against All Odds.
Laura Dern was in that too. Against All Odds, also a great soundtrack. Phil Collins.
Yeah.
The movie was it was very highly touted, like at the time, but it wasn't such a great movie.
Yeah. Mickey and Maude's on here.
Mickey and Maude. You remember that movie?
Vaguely.
That's with Dudley Moore.
Right.
And he's got two wives going at the same time, and I think they both are like pregnant at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, that's a classic move.
It's shenanigans galore.
That's a classic move with the Side family. I've never understood that, by the way. Like the energy that it would take. I feel like that's gone I feel like that was more popular in the 80s, to have like a full side family. Like, nobody's pulling that off anymore. That has gone out of style.
People probably do, but they're hurting.
I mean, how do you do that?
I mean, you can barely take care of one family.
How the hell do you pull that off, and why would you ever want to?
They fall in love with two different women at the
Why
same
would
time.
you want to?
I guess your cake and eat it too. I don't know.
God, we should do a whole show on that. Like, interview people that have done it and be like, what the f were you thinking? Oh God, You Devil and Rhinestone round out the list.
Rhinestone, great.
Stallone and Dolly Parton?
Stallone.
Dolly Parton, was she in that?
Yeah.
Dolly Parton was big in the 80s, if you know what I mean.
She still is pretty alerted. It's fine. Macchio's like 27, but he looks 14.
If there was one thing I would want to do...
Is not spend as much time.
No. I was just going to say I would want to.
Yeah.
You know, let me that's 8:46. What else do we have? Are we any big sports?
No. Oh, here she goes. She's getting undressed.
Oh, you're watching the actual scene.
Yeah.
You're not going to throw it up on the YouTube live?
No. Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? Playoffs. Playoffs?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Whoa.
It's a good movie.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, that's not really.
They're not leaving much to the imagination?
That's not really what I had in mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Jo Beth Williams was the mom in E.T., or maybe it was Poltergeist. I can't remember.
Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
Coach.
Hey, why don't you make your announcement?
Okay, so here it is. I was putting it off, but today will be my last day on the show. I've offered to be a call-in contributor, moving the whole family down to Dallas, and won't be able to do the show in studio anymore. So it's now the Ion Sports with the Ion Sports. Ira may make his own announcement in 5 minutes. But
yeah. I'm not going to make any announcements, but I anticipate this being the last week of the show.
Okay. So it could be there you go.
Yeah,
but maybe not. You know, look, just for the listeners, I've encouraged Ira to go on with the show, but, that's going to be his prerogative. So we'll see. Could be the last week of the show. If it is, you're going to want to get your commemorative
mugs.
All right, let's talk about the show. You know, we don't like to talk about ourselves. We have 12 minutes left.
We don't like to talk about ourselves, exactly.
But
we're very humble.
We'll talk. The show started, let's see, what was it? 2017, late 2017. November 2017. It was originally the 1 p.m. show with myself and Lynn. We quickly determined, Lynn was remote. He was calling in from Brooklyn. Great guy. We wanted to talk politics and sports. We quickly got a lot of feedback locally. We got a lot of feedback that maybe our political discussions weren't going to take the market by storm here. So we quickly brought in the Ion Sports. He was waiting in the bullpen immediately after about a week.
That's a fact.
After about a week or two, we said, all right, let's get really, it was like it's like when I went to see the Cubs play at Shea Stadium and John Lester went like a third of an inning.
Great. Thanks, Lester.
And we had to go to the bullpen.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we had to go to the bullpen early. So we brought the Ion Sports out of the bullpen early as a guest contributor, and then we had to just convert the show entirely to sports. And the remote thing really doesn't work. Our technology here isn't quite fully up to snuff to do that. So
if Leonard would have invested in an ISDN home studio line, it might have been great. But
Right. So
cheap bastard.
Became the 1 p.m. show with Jay and Ira, and Josh, of course, was producing it. So I want to, in all seriousness, not that we probably have half a dozen listeners out there. Maybe, who knows? See, who knows really? Because you do run into people sometimes. This happened to me more than once throughout the show. Just some random guy that I know that I had no idea listened to the show, and he's like, "Hey, man, I love the show." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So anyway, to our listeners, thank you. I also want to thank Lynn for helping start the show, and Josh for producing it for many, many months. Terrific producer. That obviously came to an end towards the end of last year, I guess. So we've been, and it's kind of bittersweet, Ira, because I do feel like we're finally hitting our stride. You got the booth on lockdown back there.
Well, I'm hoping to parlay this into a full-time job as a projectionist at one of the Malco theaters.
I thought you were going to say at the Paris Adult Entertainment Theater.
I almost did. I don't think they're open anymore, though.
Are they not?
How the hell do I know?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're over there paying, people's MLGW bills.
You know what?
Just slide on over to check out the.
Do not get me started on that.
Check out the accessories.
I had to go to MLG&W, and normally I'm able to handle everything on the phone because I got a commercial account, and they're like, no, we have to have you come in, and I'm like, do you understand what that means, right? And they're like, we don't care, and I'm like, I'm going to be there for 2 hours. They're like, sorry, and I had to go there. It was unbelievable.
To do what now?
It was like what it is if you rent a building to someone or a house, and they leave owing MLG&W a bunch of money. They call it diversion, okay?
Yeah.
And if you, so then I want to get the power turned back on in my company's name so we can go in and do repairs or whatever. They want you to show them that you evicted that tenant, so that we won't be responsible for the bill. They'll try and find them somewhere else, and their way it's in the system that if they try to get power turned on again, it'll be in their name. And so normally we can fax in the lease and the paperwork that we filed for eviction on them, and they were like, no, you're coming in on this one. And I'm like, we got the paperwork, and they wouldn't let me do it. Now I was there for like 2 hours. It was a
so when was that? How long ago?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, was the theater open then? Just kidding. We'll check it out.
I popped in to see if they had any popcorn, fresh popcorn.
Oh God!
But I'll tell you what.
That is the popcorn machine. You don't.
I don't want to admit on the radio that I was in Paris Adult Theater, but I will. And I was in the store part, not in the theater part.
Not in the private booths?
I was in the store part. I was looking for a Christmas gift for a friend of mine. And all I know is, like, the manager or somebody goes running into the theater part and was like, you can't do that in here. Both of you, get out of here. And, like, two dudes go running out, and I was like, I think I'll go find my Christmas gift somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
So you went where? Fantasy Warehouse?
I don't even know if they have a place anymore.
I don't think that's there.
So I went to the online thing.
Yeah, good for you. Anyway, the show, I don't know how we got on that. Oh, yeah, no, I think we've hit our stride with you behind the booth. So anyway, I'm hoping you'll continue, but we'll see. That'll be up to you. We'll talk about that off the air. I just want to say it's been a whole lot of fun. I want to thank you, Ira, because there's no way I would have stuck with this as long without you. I would have probably quit, I don't know, after about 3 months. Because it's, we talked about it the other day, you think it's hard to do it, and at first it's hard because you're thinking of things to talk about, but after a while you just get really comfortable. It's an hour a day, you come out here, you talk sports. It's actually kind of fun. It's probably the most fun thing that I do, but duty calls. So, if my radio career is over and my blogging career is over, I will have clearly checked an item on my bucket list and be fine with that. I will have no regrets. But if there's ever an opportunity for us to work together again or reinvent the show in some other way, I'm always open to that.
Well, thank you, Jay. And we appreciate all the hard work you've done. And, good luck in Dallas. It should be a lot of fun, a lot of traffic, but a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see the Tigers probably at least once or twice a year in some capacity.
At least twice if I make an effort in basketball, because the conference tournament is in Fort Worth. So.
Oh, well, everybody who wants to go down to the conference tournament this year.
Yeah. Come on down.
Coming down to CJ.
So,
football. There's could be a football game at SMU maybe. I don't know.
I think they're in Memphis this year. What are your favorite memories of this year and a half run? Do you have any that stick out?
I don't know. I don't really. I can't really think of things in that way. I'm more of a big picture kind of guy.
Yeah, big picture. Terry was a big part of the show for a while.
We have some good callers, Carl and Unforgetful, and those guys are always great. And, you know, there's always, of course,
I've never
this
pooped
moment.
on the floor in a public restaurant out of rage. Have you?
Not out of rage.
That was the Tim Hortons pooper.
Yeah, Jay talking about pooping on the
That was a
floor.
good one. You know, I think the period of time around Tubby and Penny was a good period. A lot of callers, a lot of activity.
Yeah, we got a lot of flack around town, and I think that a lot of it was unwarranted. But, you know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, somebody had to take up the argument for the program at the time. I was happy to do that, but no, it was a fun, lively time. I think the switch from 1 p.m. to 8 a.m. was a little tricky, and we never quite. We had some key listeners that never quite made the jump with us because, you know, it's a different time of day. But I like being on at 8 a.m. It's smoother flow, and you know, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Do we have a caller?
Quickly for the second time today.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah, I just want to make it real quick. Say, Jay, I wish you well, and you know, I hope everything turn out for you. And you know, I know it's your last. You say day or week?
Today will be the last day, yeah. I will be on the rest of the week.
Yeah, I just want to wish you well. And, man, when you talk about that 1 p.m. show, I just love that little commercial you did of me, man.
Well, yeah, we did have you in the commercial.
Yeah, you know, so I'm just letting you know, I always listen, man, but I had to call in and let y'all know, man.
We appreciate
Unforgivable,
it.
you've meant a lot to the show, just knowing you're out there, and there's, you know, probably at least a dozen more guys like you that don't call.
Yeah, I'm
It's
always
helpful.
locked in over here, man.
I'm telling you. Hey, well, but before you go, what kind of radio do you listen on?
One of the old-fashioned ones, man.
Like a clock radio or like a real old-fashioned one?
It's really sort of like something that my granddaddy gave me.
Mm-hmm.
One of those where, you know, it's hard to get FM, but you can get the AM on it real good.
Yeah.
What? I think it's say RCA.
Oh, my gosh, that's awesome.
Here's a question.
Yeah, that's what I be listening on, man.
I heard you come. Oh, there we go. Unforgivable. Another question. Are you working? Or are you just at home? Or what kind of...
I'm basically a retired veteran. I'm disabled, man.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for your service,
All
and
right.
thank you for listening.
I'll be here. I'll be here all week, so feel free to call. We gotta go.
Hey, whoever there, I'm listening in over here, man.
All right, thank you.
He loves the
You know,
station.
it's just crazy though. The other airways, they just don't make no sense to me. It's just nutty and crazy. I know it's basically entertainment, but over here, hey, y'all serious, man. Y'all know how to do it.
All right, thank you, sir. Oh, my
Love that
God.
guy.
I'm trying to see.
When asked what he thought about the 1 p.m. show, one caller said this.
Man, I love talking to y'all. Y'all got one of the greatest shows going on over here at 7:30.
Wait, what was
That was the
It was
promo.
great promo.
That was good stuff. I thank you for myself.
Yeah,
for
we
cutting
had
it.
a lot of fun, and I've,
Yeah.
you know, look, I still think, I don't listen a lot to other folks in town, but I still think there's a market for this. So anyway, it's been a pleasure, and you know, we'll catch up.
I'm sure you'll call in this week.
Yeah, I'll come on for a couple of hits. So you haven't heard the last of me.
Yeah, well, depends on what the poll says that I put up later. Do you want EJ to even call the rest of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, you know, I'm excited for you and your family. It's going to be a great opportunity for you guys, and it should be, you know, take some adjusting, but I know you guys will be fine.
Oh yeah, we're up.
You've been there before for extended periods of time. And it's gonna be a new era. A new day is dawning.
Always. The only constant in life, Ira, change.
Death and taxes, baby.
That's right. Yeesh.
You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. I don't know.
That's right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Adios, muchachos.
This is the Old Trailblazer broadcast. This is Pastor Albert Pendarvis, the Old Trailblazer, riding out again on Old Dan. Come on, Dan. Got to get it getting. We got to get on down there to the mission places, wherever folks are standing around waiting for the Old Trailblazer and Old Dan to get there. And we're just happy to have you folks tuning in this morning. I wish you'd pray for me and pray for these crippled up legs of mine as I hobble around here on a stick. And but we're happy. The Lord.